Nicodemus, Kansas is one of the most historic places in Kansas that you can visit. That's a ghost town, and it's also now a historical site, and it's just a fascinating place full of history. There is a lot of information about Nicodemus out there, so I don't claim to be an expert about this town. I'll put some links in the description of this video for some things if you want to do a more deep dive about the history of Nicodemus. But basically, it's the one of the only remaining towns and one of the first ever black settlements in the West. And after the Civil War, during the Reconstruction period, it was not a simple thing for new free black people to figure out where to live. And Kansas was a free state, a fairly new free state at the time, and they offered land in different parts. And this was a place that was kind of an invitation sent out to many free blacks in the South to come and start a life. And it was advertised and promoted by some people that came to this area. And when people came here, a lot of people came here initially in the 1870s, and it wasn't maybe as advertised. It was harder to farm and to live on this land. So a lot of people got here, saw it, and left. But some stayed, and so a town started to grow. And somewhere between 500 to 1,000 people were living here. So they certainly had a nice booming town. And they tried to attract a railroad. They did build a school and some businesses, but the railroad never came, and it's certainly in kind of a out-of-the-way area up here in northern Kansas. And so over time, the population went away fairly quickly, actually, in the next couple decades to under 100. Like I said, there's a lot of really interesting history about Nicodemus, and I invite you to check that out. I'm going to show you kind of what's here now, and there's some very interesting things to see here. Like I said, it's a National Historic Site. There is a museum that's open most of the time, most weekdays and on the weekend. And but I'm sitting here at the baseball field. There was this baseball field was here, donated by a townsperson, and a lot of the people who live here now were descendants of people from original Nicodemus, and so that's a pretty cool connection with history. There are some churches that have been here for a while, and a town hall, kind of town community center. It's certainly a place that if you're ever in the area, you should stop by and check out.
No more weeping, don't you know? No more weeping. No more weeping over me. And before
As I was leaving, I was able to go into the historical area there to check out the kind of bunch of displays about Nicodemus, and They have a video you can watch, and a pretty cool kind of little area in that building. I got me a t-shirt, and the lady there said, asked me if I've ever been there before, and I said, actually, I did. I came there once. One of the early videos I did, I stopped through just to check it out and thought I needed to come back. And she said, well, if you've been here more than once, then you're considered a cousin. So I guess I'm now a cousin to the people of Nicodemus. So very cool place, very friendly people. People are very proud of their history here, as they should be.